Hey guys!
Hey everyone!
Welcome back to my channel. Today, this is Joy.
Hi!
Best friend. She is joining me for kind of a really cool conversation.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Me too.
So Joy is not only my best friend, but my sorority sister.
Yep.
Yes.
We are actually in the same line. She's technically my twin, which means we have the same big.
Yeah, so we are, I know there's a lot of stereotypes about sororities.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to dispel a couple of those because I feel like, you know, everyone can be a part of Greek life and it has a lot of goods
and bads.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's how it is with any organization you join, regardless if it's Greek. So.
We also have some, you know, to top off the sorority basicness.
Yes.
It's Starbucks. You are currently balanced on a luggage cart
and a chair.
A chair. So let me open the app and see if we have anyone. How do you tell?
Well, right now,
down viewers.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we're by ourselves.
Woo! No pressure.
Yeah, right? Under pressure. Okay. So yeah, basically, I don't know. I would like to kind of know where you were coming from joining a sorority and like what made you join the sorority we joined, because ours was very specific. It had a philanthropic code. Yeah. Or like go to a soup kitchen or stuff like that. It was a very philanthropic base.
Do stuff about mental health, which was a big impact on our sorority, at least when I was active.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, well, while in high school, I was very involved with different organizations. And so going off to college, I kind of felt stuck and I kind of wanted to figure out what I wanted to do as myself, not join something right away. You know, me fresh.
What year were you when you joined?
I was, fall of 2012. So, I know. So backtrack, I started college in 2009. And so I took a big break from trying to be involved in anything. I was involved in a national society, and I did that for a while. And back in spring of 12 maybe? I don't know. Anywho, junior year, Alpha Phi became on the campus, and I considered it, and so I went through the process. I was like, you know what, I'm ready to join. I want to be involved again. I want to do something that is just going to help me kind of branch out and get away from, you know, being stuck in just my apartment and with my friends. Like, I wanted to do something else. So I went through the process, decided, you know what, unfortunately, like, that sorority was not for me. Nothing bad about them. It just wasn't, I didn't fit in with it. Yeah. So fall semester comes around and I'm walking through our union and I see Omega Phi Alpha getting ready to start recruitment. And so I talked to...
that's our sorority, by the way.
Yeah, Omega Phi Alpha. I talked to Amanda Bailey, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool.
Who happened to be
Hi, Amanda.
Woo!
You see this?
One of the membership directors. And she kind of, you know, explained that it was very much community service based. Like, yes, you still had the big and little relationship that every sorority, every Greek life has.
Now, a big and a little. So basically, it's like a mentor program. When you join Greek life, you are given like a mentor that is called your big sis or big bro, depending on whether you're a fraternity or sorority. And that is the person that's kind of supposed to teach you along the way and show you the different programs and how the organization works. So that's what she means by big and little.
That's exactly what I mean by big and little. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I love that it was community service based. So I wasn't able to go to any of the rush nights because of work. So I wasn't able to attend the interview. So no one knew who I was. I interviewed with one of the other membership directors, Erica Russell. Hi, for watching this. We miss you.
Hi, little.
Oh, yeah. And I met with another sister. So I did the interviews and everything. And at the time, 2 active members came up, and at the end of the interviews, they ask you a fun question. And I think mine was, which Disney prince you would go on a date with. I think that was mine.
And it was totally the Beast, wasn't it?
No, it was John Smith.
Who are you? I don't know you at all.
Look at my fiance. Blonde hair.
See, I don't know why I have it in my head that Arthur is a redhead.
Well, he has some red in his hair. Anywho.
He's marrying a ginger, and she just won't admit it.
He's mostly blonde, but he does have red. And one of the actors at the time ended up being my big sister.
Oh, cool.
I had no idea. Hillary was with Lanisa.
Yeah.
So I get a bid, which is the sorority telling you, hey, we love you. We would really love for you to be a potential member and go through this process to become an active member. So I went, and I went to initiation. I did all that. But I didn't know anyone because I didn't attend any of the information nights or the rush nights or anything like that. So I was very, like, kind of skeptical.
Sideswiped.
At first. Yeah, pretty much.
Our sorority, I know every chapter is different, but for us, our individual chapter was a lot of very loud, outspoken, like, obviously.
Yeah.
Loud, outspoken people that really, at least when we rushed. Now, mind you, we're old, and this chapter has evolved since, so I don't really know if this is still the case, but there's been, we're very loud, outspoken women, forceful personalities. So it was fun.
Rushing. I loved it, and I'm so glad I went through it. And immediately once I started attending, like, the pledge meetings and everything, like, I made friends quickly.
Yeah, and that's something I found too.
Yeah.
It was like, so my story was I actually joined a Panhellenic sorority my freshman year. So I was in AOPI, if any of you guys know what that is, or you're enjoy sororities, or you know anything about Greek life. It was a really good experience, but if you are new to college, from your freshman year to your junior year, you change so much. Yeah. And I ended up I moved across the country and did the Disney internship like my second semester of my freshman year. So I kind of like joined college, did a semester, and then like left.
Get out of there.
And when I came back, I just didn't really have any kind of like friendships or connections with the group. And it wasn't something, I was living in the dorms, and I don't know, it just didn't feel right for me anymore. It was a great organization, good chapter of girls. I still talk to some of them, but it just wasn't for me at the time. And so I ended up leaving, and I took a year off, but I really liked that kind of Greek life feel. I don't know. I have kind of an unpopular opinion, and I think that on some level you are paying for your friends.
Yeah.
Like, you have to think about any organization you join, Toastmasters or the Kiwanis Club or any kind of organization when you're an adult that you join, like you still pay dues.
Yeah.
So it's not that crazy to think that you're going to pay dues going into a fraternal organization. So I actually, I liked the people I had met. I had made some great connections. And then I met a friend over the summer because I was kind of floundering. I didn't really know what I was doing at that time. I met Alyssa Lopez.
Oh, okay.
And she had told me, we became friends. And then the next semester she rushed OPA. And I heard about this great organization that was all about philanthropy. And that was very much my line of thinking. I wanted to give back. And you guys know I make videos about this. And I ended up rushing the semester after that. So I've actually been in 2 sororities. But I found what does it sound like, a puppy? Found my forever home.
Home is where our sisters are.
Oh God, that was cheesy. So basically, I just wanted to kind of come on here today and talk to Joy. I know that we have very different experiences.
We do. We rushed, different classes, and we went through different things. And I think towards when I rushed, that's when the sorority, at least members, started changing. It wasn't, there are a few, like Danny said, we're loud and we're very enthusiastic and, in the moment. And some of the other members
more demure and
you know, very goal oriented. Not that we aren't, but they're more quiet.
Yeah.
And I think when I rushed, that's when it started, like, kind of, we were getting more of those members. And so we definitely did have a different experience.
Yeah. And I think that, oh, here, I can get on and see comments.
Perfect. I
know how to work this.
When I was active, like, I started hanging out with the older sisters. And by me saying older, I mean they've been around longer within the sorority, because I felt like I fit in more than I did with some of my pledge sisters.
Yeah, and I think that's the benefit to being in a large organization. Like, you don't have to be friends with everyone.
No.
We found I had friends that were on both sides of me, that were younger and older, and you get to meet more people. I think it's more of like a networking opportunity. You know, I find that when I meet someone that's been in Greek life, like, I feel like I'm like, oh, hey, we have something in common. Yeah. Like, you understand me on a different level. So that is something. This is not working for me. I have a sorority tag, too, if we run out of enough to talk about. Okay. I'm working really hard not to swear, because we are on live TV.
So, yeah, I feel like
90% of my YouTube videos are edited around my swear words. It's like, hi.
Nice.
Well, how are you guys? Take all these cats because I
take 3.
Not good. All right, so let me see if I can get comments. Oh, live chat. Oh, is it working? But yeah, so basically, if you guys have any questions about Greek life, like what you want to know, I think we have a pretty wide variety. Obviously, neither of us have ever been in a fraternity, so.
No, I was in a national fraternity.
You dated some fraternity boys. That might help.
Yeah, sure. We can bring those up. No, but I'm
happily almost married.
Shush.
You need shush. Are we keeping that a secret?
No.
Do people not know that you're getting married?
People do now.
Damn it.
Surprise!
It's not gonna happen.
Where's the swear jar?
I was watching let's see, questions. Oh god, this is bad. This is really bad. Sorry guys, this is my first one, so bear with me. It'll get better.
It will get better.
Okay. Sorority secrets, sorority recruitment Q&A. Ooh. Ooh, trouble. I'm not gonna lie to you, we are not a Panhellenic sorority, so our rush process is very different than that. Yes. But I did go through Panhellenic rush, and I do remember some of it. I have an awful memory, but
I have a lot of friends that were in Panhellenic, and so I can kind of remember how how they were like feeling about it and everything that went involved in it, and
it's a big process. If you want to join a Panhellenic sorority, like it's like 4 to 5 days of a lot of hard, just because you have to be on all the time, going.
Yeah, you have all of these girls, and you're trying to, you know, meet every single one to
make a good impression,
so that they pick you, but you also want them. And
all these new. I'm sorry, I'm finding a whole new side of this. So yes, you know, you're having to be on all the time, and each sorority is different, so they ask different things of you. Yeah. And you're having, you know, you've got people in your face like this, like, hi, how's it going? And you're in a little room, and it's very, very intense. It's worth it.
It's so worth it.
It's so fun.
Not only like, okay, say you did meet someone that was, you know, considered a sorority, but they didn't pick you, that you still can't, like, you made that connection. You know, you also think of it as a networking, like Danny had mentioned earlier.
I almost went into it entirely networking, which is awful, but all I can think of is, like, when I get into the business force, these are going to be women that have a step in front of me that are able to, at the very least, guide me on what I want to do and give me advice. Well, yeah, but at the most, like, some people get you jobs. Like, that's just a very realistic thing.
of a sorority or a organization in general is help you, be different than another candidate.
Absolutely. And do you ever get people that are like, oh, you're in a sorority?
All the time. All the time. At my own job,
I think there's a very real stigma around sororities lately. And I think very few. I have friends from film school, and then I have friends from sorority. I don't really have any friends that I met outside of sorority that I'm still close with.
I do. I have a few, and
they joined late too.
I joined late, so yes, I did join during my first senior year. I have 2 bachelor's degrees and a half. So I graduated and I decided to add another major.
Weird.
Really late in the game. So I joined, my first year of my senior year. So
you had an entire college career before you joined.
Yeah, I had like 3 years.
Yeah,
I made these friends, and I kind of, I'm like, all right, you know what? If I graduate now, I'd be okay.
Yeah. And I kind of reached that point of like, I don't know, I guess I probably do have friends that are from college, and I'm sorry if I just offended you, but I feel like my closest friends are from sorority. Like you, Gina. Hi, Gina.
Hi.
And, like you guys have seen me like to do travels together, and we're hoping to get this one over here, but she's got a little baby.
I do.
But yeah, it's just like stuff like that. I could not imagine not having the people that I have in my life because of sorority.
Same.
And so when people are like, oh, you're in a sorority? I'm like, yeah, and I got the coolest people out of it, so joke's on you.
Yeah, I do.
And I think that, obviously you get out of it what you put in. You're gonna, if you want to go into it and drink and party and flunk out of school, like, Greek life will absolutely do that for you. Like, those options are there. It can also make you a future president. Like,
okay, it can. You see so many business women and leaders who, while they were in college, did join a sorority, and because of that, as a potential young woman, I know Barbara Waters was.
Walters?
I
don't think she went to college.
No, she didn't, but obviously I haven't had enough coffee yet.
Right here, future leaders of the world.
But no, you have these ladies who did do that. They joined a sorority, and it helped them, get them to where they are there. Tried out. That's right.
Ooh.
So there's just that to consider.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the structure totally changes, because when you're in high school, your parents and your schooling dictate everything you do in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking for more of that structure, I think Greek life also is another option that really benefits.
It did. It helped me a lot.
Yeah.
So
I had to time manage. I didn't have time to do everything.
No.
So it really, and my channel is a lot about like living intentionally and choosing your day by like what you care about. And I think that Greek life was very much about that. It gave you that intentional decision of like, what am I going to prioritize in this? Am I going to go to
not gonna lie.
Let's be real.
So my freshman year.
That's literally why I never moved off campus.
Well, I didn't move off campus.
I wouldn't go to class. I really wouldn't.
I lived in McConnell. And all my classes were on North Campus.
See, I lived in North Campus. I still go to my classes. You're just a bad student.
No, I was just a bad student my freshman year. And I got put on academic probation because of it.
Oh.
Yeah. And I learned real quick. And so
that's where you get kicked out of school because your grades aren't good enough.
Well, you get on probation, and then you have 1 semester to get at least a 2.0, and that you're in good standing. And then you can come back the following. So that spring semester, I made sure I got a 3.0, and so that got me completely off of academic probation, and I started fresh my sophomore year.
Wow. I was like a very solid, like, mediocre student. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, that I graduated with, I think, barely a 3.0, and that's because I really locked down my last year. But it just, for the first 2 years of school, really wasn't a priority to me. Mm-hmm. And then kind of once I found an organization that required it of me and was like, if you don't get good grades, like,
if you don't
hasta la pasta.
Yeah, and they also offer study hours. And so you try to.
You showed up looking like you just walked off a freaking yacht.
Sorry.
I thought you was going to show up with her kid, and I'm like, oh, my hair's wet, we're good. Like,
nope. This mama needs kid break.
Okay, so, yeah, right. Let's see, what does the word pledge mean? Are you going to go PC with it? You're not technically allowed to call people pledges anymore.
No, you have to call them potential new members. And you can't call them pledge babies. I learned that real quick.
It's considered hazing to call them a pledge because I don't know why. I mean, it's just a word.
Yeah,
but,
it's just technically they're pledging, to be an active member in, or the organization.
Yeah.
But we had to call them potential new members, or PNMs for short.
PNMs.
To me, pledging.
What does pledging mean to you? I want to be able to do that.
I feel like you're a little naive when you're pledging.
As a pledge?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think there's definitely a certain level of, how do I say this without getting bitched out later? Like a certain level of, like, there's a facade that comes in when you are recruiting anything for a job or dating even, like you put a facade up. So there's definitely a level of that in sorority recruitment because they want you to like them as much as you want them to like you.
True.
And it's a mutual decision of you choose them and they choose you. And if they're not putting their best foot forward, no one's going to choose them.
No.
So I think that is definitely something that comes into play. So yeah, I agree. You're kind of naive. You don't have the full picture entirely. And I don't know. I think that you just kind of have to get to know them.
You do. And it took me until after my first active member to really realize who everyone was in the sorority.
Yeah.
Regardless, and that's even with girls that I rushed with and that were in my pledge class. I didn't know them that well. And going through a full active semester and, figuring out
closer. Oh,
get closer.
My butt's going numb.
Figure out who's who. And it took me.
And who you mesh with.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one too, is why is it blurry?
Well, I know why it's blurry on my glasses. It's going to always be blurry on my glasses.
My lens is dirty.
Bear with us.
Technical difficulties. Oh, that's better. Okay. Your glasses?
Yeah, the reflection shows on my glasses.
Oh. So I found a tag.
Okay.
What is your sorority's hand sign?
Should we do it?
We can. Do you remember it? I don't remember it. I think it's this.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it. This is how old we are. It's this. So it's like a infinity.
Yeah.
Right? And then like the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Or like
because we originally started with Girl Scouts, right?
Maybe. I don't want to be teaching anyone anything because I was like really bad at studying. You have to like take a test when you join our sorority,
and it's about your history.
I think you have to take tests on both of the sororities that I pledged or activated through.
Yeah, because you have to know the motto,
the history, and the rituals, and all of that.
And all of that stuff. Because even some Panhellenics have a certain charity or community service project they do every semester.
Well, and plus the Panhellenic side of things, and I know it's something that you're not really supposed to talk about very often. I'm not going to share any details because I don't want to get in trouble, but have like rituals where like they lock down a hallway. It's like a very secure ceremony that you have to learn, and there's like things you have to learn within that.
Yep.
I just remember trying to learn the ritual for Aopai, and like one of my sisters was amazing and would like come in and teach me every like twice a week. I barely made it through that. Like so bad. Did you always want to rush a sorority?
No. I remember rush week my freshman year, so we had maybe been in school for a week or two, and a friend of mine was rushing, went through the rush process, and her boyfriend at the time also did, and a couple other guy friends that I knew were going through it, and I thought it was a joke. I was not about joining a sorority. I was very much, no, it's not for me. Like, I had spent 2 years in high school putting my all in FCCLA, which stands for Family Career Communities of America. I was state president my senior year, and so
humble brag.
Yes, I was very much like ready for a break, and so I was like, that's not for me. Like, I can't stand girls. Like, I would not get along. I'd get kicked out.
Yep.
And so I was like, you guys have fun, but I also didn't feel like I was missing out either.
I need you to lock the door. Like housekeeping's here. Well, I'm in Phoenix right now, and is there no lock on the door? And we're going live in my hotel room, so if you hear stuff, apologies.
Just housekeeping.
I always, the first like part of my life, I really strived. I wanted everything in my life to be like a normal thing, and I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. But I definitely was the type of person that was like, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to join a sorority, and it's going to be blonde hair, and like, it was bad. And if you go back, I can't put it on here, but I'll post it on my Facebook if you want to. I'll leave the link below. But I had like blonde hair and like the Barbie nails, and it was bad.
Not the Danny I know.
Right? Right? And then as I got older and I kind of came into my own, I learned that you don't need to be that way. But for whatever reason, my brain was like, I'm going to live the American dream. We already went over like what recruitment was like, but what's your favorite sorority related memory? The night that she rushed, I knew who her big was because her big is my big. And did you get a concussion or did I? I think I did.
Oh, no. It was my pleasure treat.
Yeah, we went on like a scavenger hunt with the group.
So we had,
and I'm pretty sure I was the one that smacked my head on the side of the car.
I was with you, and then who else was it? Karen? We were with Karen.
Yeah, probably.
We were in Karen's small car. And so I was with two
and
other.
I'm 6 foot, so getting into Karen's like little bitty clown car did not work out so well for me.
We had to go all around campus trying to find everything that was on the list. And at one point, Danny's running into the car and just smack, like full on, hits her head.
That's probably why I don't remember who got the concussion.
But anyway, I think you and Karen were asking, because I was with two other sisters. I was with Riley O'Brien. So hi, if you're watching this. And then I forget who else we were with. Rachel Pearson.
Okay.
Hey, Rachel. And
hey, Rachel. I have no memory of this. You remember all these people.
I do.
There was a car and a door in my face. And that was about it. We won, though.
We did.
We stole a street sign.
We did.
Don't steal street signs.
Don't do it.
We replaced it. Like, we returned it. But
afterwards.
we definitely jacked it.
But bad on them for putting it on the list.
Yeah, they didn't like chain it down. No, it wasn't on the list. It was like a secret object.
Oh, that's right.
And it was like a legit, like, full-size construction street sign.
We did put it back.
We absolutely put it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Oh, I like this one. Is sisterhood a real thing?
You want me to share my story?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. ADD, people. ADD.
I think most memorable moment?
Yeah.
I think it would have to be when I just realized that my little Bonnie would be my little.
Aww.
So I remember when she was going through Rush, and I had to leave, but I stayed for all the girls to introduce stuff because there's a new batch of girls. And they had to say their name and say one random fact about themselves. And I remember Bonnie saying that she had a llama. And I remember leaving thinking,
yes,
that's awesome. I need to get to know her. Well, the next time I would see her would be at interviews.
Okay.
And so she was the first one we interviewed. And I immediately, I'm getting like halfway through the questions. I was like, this is my little. This like
done.
This is it. And because I was the oldest, I had first pick.
So the way that we set it up, is you get a ranking system, and they write down who they want, and you write down who you want, and then they rank it. At least that's how they did it. When they probably do it differently.
For us, they did it based off of who A hadn't taken a little yet, was a new active, and who was graduating soon.
Yeah.
And I fit all those 3 categories, and I was the one that was graduating before everybody else because everyone I rushed with were freshmen.
Old lady.
Yeah. So
look at that lady's shirt. It's like the sun.
It's so bright.
I want to wear neon at her age.
That is awesome.
Be like a grandma in fluorescent pink.
Anywho, so
yeah.
I love Bonnie to death.
I like it. I like it. I definitely think is sisterhood a real thing. Like,
yeah.
I absolutely think it is. I think that you're not going to have it with everyone in your chapter.
No.
But I definitely think that it's something that happens and is real. And I don't know. I feel like you're my sister.
I do too. I feel like, there's people I'm close with within the sorority. And I would go above and beyond with them for them, but with you and with Gina and with Merce and Bonnie, like,
it's more.
I definitely feel like we have that closer bond. And like you said, I definitely feel like, you're my sister.
Yeah, it's like those memes that you see, like, your friend does this, but your best friend does this, and it's usually worse, and you forgive them anyway. We're like there. That. We're there. We're past that. Okay. Time commitment. We talked about that. Like, it's a big time commitment.
It is. And I want to say, like, I'm so grateful that it was because
I didn't get in as much trouble.
Yeah, and excuse my French, but it put my ass into gear. Like, once I joined, I remember when I was pledging and I attended study hours with the actives and everything, even though I wasn't getting any service hours for it, like, it still helped me, and I made the dean's list for the first time and continued doing that throughout the years that I was with them.
And I think also, there's something about, like, bonding. I know the year I graduated,
that semester that you graduated, whoever got there first would
like hunker down
on the table. And then another person would come in maybe 30 minutes later, and then one would leave to go to class or whatever. Yeah. And we literally, because the library is open 24 hours, so we would have someone do coffee runs, or we'd have,
food delivered. There was a lot of food deliveries.
A lot of coffee. And
I just remember, I have pictures, I don't know where they are, of you, like, literally also meeting the requirements that were required academically
and kicking butt
of that week. Yeah, I think I did really well that year. Although when you graduate, you don't really get, like, I got grades, but, like, what I was like, my diploma somewhere. It's like, whatever. I'm out.
I know I did. I made this again because of that.
Humble brag. I'm going to like stamp it every time you do that. What surprised you about sorority? Deep questions.
What surprised me the most is that despite how big of a group we were, there wasn't a lot of cattiness. Like, you could tell, you knew everyone didn't didn't get along, and so you made a point to.
I'm sorry, Macho. I see all your comments. I'm still learning how to figure this out. I apologize.
But I was really surprised with how many girls there were.
Yeah, I think we were lucky in that. I think that some, depending on the chapter, I don't think any point to like an organization and say that one's really catty.
No.
I think that every chapter is different. I think that every year is but yes. So I think the dynamic is different and really, I don't know. You learn how to, for me personally, it took me a really long time. I'm very confrontational, or semi-confrontational, where I want to be like, what's going on? Let's talk it out. And some people don't like that.
No.
So for me, it was learning to be like, hey, well, maybe I don't get along with this girl 100%. How can I get around it? How can I try and not cause a bunch of drama? Because it's not necessary. Like, you can just hang out with the people you like, invest in the things you enjoy, and not worry about all the other stuff. Like, I just feel like it's a lot.
And I was also, what caught me off guard was we each, you had your groups within the chapter and everything, but when we came together at chapter,
No, I'm fine, yeah.
Never once did I feel like we were divided.
Oh, yeah. I think it happened a couple times over, I was in for 4.5 years. There were definitely moments where, just being honest, like, there were divisions in the group, but anytime you have 60 plus girls,
there's going to be.
You kind of have to prepare yourself for that, because that's just the way it is. Anytime you have people in a room, like, you're going to have disagreement or drama.
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah, let me go. I don't want this to go much more like an hour, so I think so yeah, let's see. I'm listening to the housekeeping talking to my mom. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Talk. Tell us about your baby.
Okay, well, I have a 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old. Yeah, he's not a baby. He's a toddler.
You're like adult. Like, I'm like making videos on the internet, and you're like raising a human.
He talks all the time. He tattletales, so that's fun.
I'm so excited to like.
And it's anytime like something's not right, he just goes, ooh, and he just points to it until you know.
Oh my god. Well, that's good.
Okay. So yeah, he's a handful, but I love it. I love every minute of it. He's so smart.
It's weird seeing how little kids can be so like intelligent. I think they come out as like a blob, and then they hit 12 and they're like, oh, math.
Yeah. Well, like we were reading Brown Bear, What Do You See? Animals, and so I said, Henry, where's the cat? Or where's the, and he will look at it and then points to it. And so that, to me, that was first, like, I knew he knew some of the animals, but I knew he could recognize all of them.
It's weird. So what would you tell to someone that's joining a sorority today, like their tips for Rush, or their, like, what would be your advice?
Tips for Rush, sleep before, but if that's, can't happen because it school's already starting. Coffee, definitely make sure.
I know a lot of the sororities rush like 2 before school starts.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and NAU, I know our sorority rushes this week.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, yay! Go join Omega Phi Alpha if you're in Northern Arizona.
And then always be prepared for whatever the theme, like dress theme. With ours, it was very kind of more relaxed. Like you had your dress up, your dress to pin.
Which means like business casual.
Mm-hmm.
You have like in panel, like you have things like prep night, which is cocktail attire.
Yeah.
We're not that strict. We were like, just look nice.
Wear your letters, wear your chapter shirt, stuff like that, just to show that, you're here to represent Omega Phi Alpha. Pretty much the norm for me.
Yeah. For me, I would say definitely go into it with an idea of what you're looking to get out of the organization and be able to articulate that really well, because they will ask you, like, why do you want to join? Why do you think this would be a good chapter for you? And they do care about those answers. They listen and they hear you, and it's calculated into things. I would also say have some ideas on what sets apart, what brings value to their organization that you can bring. Yeah. You have like a really good GPA that is, gonna raise their chapter GPA. Yeah. Or were you really good at athletics and you want to do intramurals, or you really like crafting and you can't wait to be like all of these things, like really be articulate in what you think you can bring value to the chapter. Because I just remember every single party I went to, they asked me, what do you...
How are you different? What?
Necessarily how you're different, but like, what do you enjoy doing? Like, these are not prairie questions. No. Like, they actually, like, I remember going through recruitment on the Panhellenic side, which I think most people watch will be Panhellenic.
Probably.
Rushes. And they, like, it actually goes into, like, a voting process, and it's in front of the chapter. So just make sure that you kind of into it with an understanding. I know I walked my first rush party. I'm not dressed appropriately. I was not prepared. By 2, I figured it out. I got dropped from sororities because I was prepared or articulating in a way that, they were looking for in their new members. So I think you really have to, if you want to put your best foot forward and you want to have as much option, because they narrow you down every night. So when you go through recruitment for Panhellenic, you win, and you have all the party night, or if like a ton at a school, you may go through over a couple days, but you go through like a 15-minute party of like, hi, my name is so-and-so, like I do this.
Yeah.
And they should never ask you about partying, money, or parents. Mm-mm. That is not, it's not allowed. It shouldn't come up. But yeah, so they will kind of get to know, and then they choose and you choose. Mm-hmm. And you can get dropped from sororities that you're, and then the next night you come back and you don't see them again. It happens,
You
can also drop sororities. I have a sorority that was like super on me, like not phrasing this correct, like super invested in getting me as a member, and I was just not feeling. And I remember I could not. I kept them. I wanted to be in a sorority. I should have just because I didn't want to be a part of it. But I remember sitting through my night like this. Like I was just not. But there's some chapters you click with, some you don't.
And that's okay. And if you don't click with them, move on. Like we said, don't be afraid to drop, even if they love you.
I think it depends on, every person's going to be different. For me personally, it was very much like if I would rather not be in a sorority than be in one I don't want in.
Yeah.
And so I ended up actually, they call it suicide. You go into midnight and you only have one sorority, like as your, a top 2 or anything like that. I totally did that. Like I had no interest in the last one, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is, so don't know.
Another tip would, regardless if you do Panhellenic, you do non-Panhellenic, kind of think of what you're going to say when you are asked these questions. Because these ladies, they have other women they need to meet.
There's a lot coming through.
See who, so you want to get time in to talk to these actives and who they are and what the sorority is like. So.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. It's weird to see yourself on the internet.
So I would just say definitely be prepared to what you're gonna say, and then look at Pinterest.
Hi. Hello. How are you? I met him in VidCon.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, look at Pinterest. Pinterest has so many ideas of what to wear, what's appropriate.
It's aggressive. It's like Pinterest is like built for sorority girls. Mm-hmm. I spent so much extraneous time on Pinterest.
Oh, figuring out what I was gonna make figuring out what I was gonna make my littles. What do I like? What can I wear? What style?
Crafting.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, okay, so two options. Once you get a level of, I don't know how to explain that. There's a lot of crafting in buy stuff. I had my first friend bought me a lot of stuff. She wasn't particularly crafty, but what she made me was really special to me. I still have just some of it. But she bought most of it because it was more of a mainstream sorority. It was available, like our keychains and coasters and all kinds of stuff. But then with us, like our chapter made a lot of stuff.
We weren't as mainstream, so when we did find stuff that was already made, like we told everyone about it. For late nights making stuff for my first little with Gina.
It made a spectacular meme. So where we went out, there was a lot of snow. Yes. And basically it was very much a get a little, they said. It'll be fun, they said, as they're like standing in like 3 feet of snow trying to deliver their crafts.
My mom just asked me what Instagram was.
My mom just got on Instagram. You should go follow her. It's Amyossey, AMYAOSSEY. She doesn't post very often, but we can work on it.
Okay, let me find it. Bear with me. But anyway, so we had snow, and since Gina and I rushed in the fall, we were active in the spring, and we had this poster deadline, and it was snowing the weekend. We had to get them up.
And you procrastinated, don't even.
Oh no, we did. We procrastinated.
They brought this upon themselves.
We did. And so me, Gina, and another one of our active sisters, Amanda, went out and put up posters. Well, we were in snow, and we had the big jackets, the beanies. It's windy. It was just a mess. So at the time when we were doing all of this, memes were very big, and everyone was making their memes
because we're old.
And so this is
what Facebook.
Hi. This is what it's backwards. Oh well. It says get a little. They said it's fun. They said, and it's us in our posters in the snow. Oh my God, they don't.
You should post that to Pinterest.
I don't blow away because of this wind, and there was a ton of glitter on them. So that helped too. Covered in glitter afterwards.
There's a little thing that holds my camera. Oh, it's up there. So we are on Facebook. Hi, Facebook. I'm trying to reconnect. I guess not. Anyway, but yeah, so if you guys have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll make sure that myself or Joy answers them.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining. This is my first live.
Yeah, and my first time on YouTube. When
not the last, though.
No.
But yeah, so we're going to pop over to Facebook Live for a little bit and answer some questions there. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
My socials, I will link Joy's social media below if she will let me.
I will.
You can see lots of pictures of
this
beautiful baby.
It's either food, my child, like I'm one of those moms that I said I was never going to be, or me reminiscing about my Euro trip.
Yeah, she just got back from a really cool, she got engaged.
I got engaged.
See that ring. Oh my God. So yeah, definitely check her out. She'll be in the down bar. My socials are down there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to start doing these every Sunday, so I will see you guys next week. I've got a couple videos going up this week, so I'll see you before then. Yeah. But thank you so much, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Oh, it doesn't work.